A few months ago, we did a question and answer video, and at the end of that, a number of people posted some additional questions in the comments. So today, I'm going to answer some of these questions that were asked. So the first one we've got here is posted by Tash Squire. And the question is, we have your work all around our house, scrolls, canvases and figures. Which is your favourite way your work is produced for those? Well, it's always really lovely to see my art on a variety of different products. The figurines are really interesting because I get to see my picture made into a sculpture, and I get to see all the different angles that I never painted. And while I love these, I suppose they're not the truest representation of my art because they are, after all, somebody else's sculpture. So I guess really that the most true representation of my picture is something like a canvas wall hanging. But you know, it's interesting to see all these different forms. So now we have a question from Johanna Katoma, who says, I've been wondering which ones might be your absolute personal favourites out of all the beautiful art you've created? And how much time does the process approximately take from the very first rough sketch until the piece is completely finished? Well, it's really hard to pick one artwork. I've painted so many, probably hundreds in my career. And as an artist, I'm also very self-critical. So often when I look at a picture, I feel I could have done it differently or I could have improved a part of it. But I suppose if I had to pick one picture to be represented by, I probably would pick my image Water Dragon. I did paint this a number of years ago, but it was really the one that started off my whole licensing career. And so I guess for that reason, it's got quite a strong personal meaning for me. In terms of how long it takes, probably about 3 or 4 days. It does depend very much on the amount of detail in the picture, but that is actual painting time, and an awful lot of the time involved in creating the artwork is actually thinking of what to paint. Cassandra Dostert, may I ask how you get your ideas for different art pieces? Well, that's a tricky one. I get my ideas from so many different places, maybe something that I've seen, a place that I've been, or sometimes it's an emotion even maybe that I felt myself, and I think that I would like to paint a subject that represents this feeling of perhaps something that I've experienced in my life. This one is from Jennifer Petra Harms, who says, I was wondering, how long did it take to be a known, famous artist? Well, it's difficult to say exactly when an artist becomes known. Certainly, I worked for many years as a commercial artist. Often I wasn't credited, so nobody would have known the artist's name. Then I worked a great deal within the games industry, and while I may have had a little bit of a reputation there, it wasn't really known in the wider world. So it's been in the last 10 years that I've built up my own brand of art, which is marketed under the name Anne Stokes Collection. So lots of people now have come across that and know my name.